Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you happen to be listening to this podcast, this is a very special episode of GH2 Podcast. I am your host, George Hardy II, BKA Dr. GasCanMan, and I am joined by two very special guests. First guest, this young lady, I actually have a few children with her. And you know, I've known her for a little while, and I think she'll be a great content expert in reference to this. And she got some great stories that she could tell all about me. First guest is Miss Amber, BKA Q Chains.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
All right. And our next guest, I've actually had the privilege of watching this young man grow up from a teenager, like a teenager, all the way up to a grown goddamn man with a family and a child. God bless him. Ian, BKA iMac, that's what I like to call him, Mr. Ian McClenton.
Yo, what it do?
All right, so this is how we're gonna get started off. So on the GH2 podcast, the first thing I like to do is I like to give my guests the floor to give us a 2-minute rant about anything on that topic. Who wants to start us off?
I'll go first.
All right.
I feel like we're all at an age where if you're upset with me, don't call my job. If I've said something to offend you, keep it between us, okay? I didn't call your job to offend you. Don't call my job to try to get me fired. Not to say anybody has done that to me, but it's 2022. We in the middle of a pandemic. Money is hard. They're not giving away any government money anymore. Like, don't call my job. Period. That's it. I'm tired of people thinking that that's a leg up. If I done offended you, you finna call my job. Because now we really have to fight. I have nothing to live for. I have no money. I have nothing. I'm coming for it now. Before it could have been jokes. It could have been that. But now you messing with my livelihood. Like let's keep it surface level. That I can't stand it.
All right. So I got a rebuttal to that. For whoever it is, I'm gonna tell y'all this. If for some reason this is actual real story and you will call it my child's mother's job to get her fired, you're gonna have to fight me too. Your baby daddy, your boyfriend, your husband, your daddy, if you ain't got none of them, they gotta fight me. Because y'all playing with my livelihood because you playing with hers. So understand, you got an ass whooping coming.
As a matter of fact, let me clarify. It's not even me personally, because I've learned to just mind my business and watch my mouth. But I'm gonna put a business out there. My sister was going back and forth with somebody on Twitter. And I told her to stop arguing with people on the internet because it's so easy to Google your name and find your LinkedIn and find out exactly what you do. So her and this girl arguing, they're going back and forth. My sister hits a zinger. She done won the argument. First thing this girl do is call her job. Why? It was cool when you thought you was winning the verbal disagreement. Now that you've lost the battle, you call it human resources. I don't get it. I can't respect it.
Ian, what you got?
Man, it's 2022. Like Amber said, we in the middle of a pandemic. There's no way in the world I should see you or be around you and you smell like the ocean, male or female. Like, there's a bunch of people on social media that's hydrate, drink water, this is how you lose weight, this, that, and the third. I should not smell a crab boil, and there has not been no crabs boiling. Like, you are home. We technically, we're in Florida, so we can do everything, but a lot of other places are shut down. There is no reason in the world why you should smell like a doggone construction worker at 8 o'clock in the morning. That baffles me. So that means you went to bed smelling like that, to wake up like that. I don't know. That's just something that's been on my heart and mind. Drink your water, take care of your hygiene and all that other stuff. But that's what's been grinding my gears.
I think it's because we all wear masks. They think they can get away with it. Put your deodorant on. I don't care if you're vaccinated, but please wear deodorant.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. You know what? I feel bad because I think some people really can't smell themselves. That's what I've learned in this pandemic. And the masks don't make it no better. Because what I've learned is I work at a school, and I work at a school with adults. So I've literally had the hygiene conversation 2 times a week throughout this whole pandemic. And I don't know, like, they cutting people water off down here in Dade County and Broward County, and people can't bathe effectively. I don't really know, but that's becoming a common thing at the big old age that we all at in life. I find it crazy that people can't bathe on a regular basis or bathe effectively, let's say. My rant is very, very simple. It's something that I've actually, me and my friends, and Ian's probably heard this before back in our GLMI days, but don't be competing in life with people. Don't compete in life with people. Don't look at me and try to compare yourself to me. Here's why I'm gonna tell you not to do it. You don't know what I've done to get to where I'm at in life. So don't compete in life against me. Like, the motivation I have to get to where I'm at in life, you might not have that motivational factor to help you. You might not have that because if you really want to know the truth of how I got to where I got to, I can sit down. I will even tell you, because I don't hide how I've gotten to where I'm at. I don't hide how I've been able to consistently do what I do professionally, all that other things. But don't compete in life against me, because you ain't gonna win. Because I ain't showing my whole hand. I'm not showing my whole hand. I don't like to put stuff on social media. I don't really do stuff like that. So my rant is really simple. Don't compete in life, not just against me, but against your peers, even in relationships. Because I know too many people in relationships that are competing in life against the person that they with. Like, you sitting there worried about how much money she make. You try to make sure you make more money than her. Like, bro, at the end of the day, y'all supposed to be together. So don't be competing in life against other people. It's whack. No rebuttals?
I'm gonna chime in real quick. Yeah, definitely don't compete, and I agree with you. Definitely don't compete, but you don't know what I had to go through to get here. You don't know if I had to sling some coke rock, had to go to jail, whatever, to get my life. And so when you get put into the hot seat, either by the people that are around you that see what you're trying to do, or quote unquote 12, like, now you got a problem. Now you facing charges. Like, for real, social media, honestly, that's the way that most people compete, because people show highlights of their life on social media. I'm the type of dude that's gonna show you every time I feel like getting on them. So if I'm having a bad day, I'm showing that. If I'm having a good day, I'm showing that. If I'm getting into it with my wife, I'm not necessarily showing that, but I'll still have some type of representation of what I'm doing that day. So you can't compete with me, because I'm gonna have a big joker like a hand of spades in my back pocket just in case you want to try to flex on me.
So I have a comment, but I'm gonna save it until we really get into the topic. Because the whole don't compete in life with people, that's part of the topic. That's the main part of the topic. So, but I do want to piggyback off of what Ian said. Definitely, people really don't know outside of what we posting on social media. So, you know what I'm saying? We might post that we sitting somewhere near a rainbow. They don't know that we had to wait 5 hours in the rain for it to stop, for us to get the picture of said rainbow. They only see the end result. They don't know what we had to do to get there. And that in itself creates the envy, because all they seeing is the finished product. They're not seeing the process that we took to get there.
And one of the things that I actually told somebody is, sometimes what people always forget is social media is me posting the highlights only. I'm not posting my failures. And then if I'm a person who really doesn't post on social media for real, you got to really understand I'm really only posting the highlights, the creme de la creme. I'm posting the top 2% of my life. And I think that it's a big struggle for people when they sit there and they look back and they look at your social media and they think it means something. They think everything means something that it doesn't really mean. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the topic. So the topic on the day, if y'all haven't kind of caught on, we're gonna talk about social media a little bit. We're going to talk about the role of social media in relationships. I want to tell y'all this: the two people I have on here, these are really my experts because they're succeeding at a part of life that I have yet to win at. And if you listen to the podcast long enough, you'll know what that is. All right. So the first question I have for Ian and Amber is, what role do you think social media plays in relationships? And I want to know, do you think that you should allow it to affect your relationship?
Ladies first.
So I think that social media, the role that it plays in relationships is really dependent upon you. If you're somebody who's not really on social media like that, it's some people out here that shockingly don't even have a Facebook. So if you're one of those people, social media really doesn't affect you like that. You're not plugged in. As for myself, I have a Facebook, I got Twitter, I got Instagram, I got all of that. So for me, previously, social media played a very big part in my relationships because, comparison is the thief of joy. I might have been happy. However, I wasn't as happy as the people that I was looking at. So therefore, I'm thinking, dang, something must be missing because I'm not experiencing what I see that they're experiencing. Even though some of these people I was envious of, I knew they were getting cheated on. But at the same time, I wanted the picture of happiness that they were posting on social media. So what's not clicking for me? So that was back then. As far as me now, I would say it doesn't really play a role as much so as I want people to know that this is a portion of my life. So if I'm highlighting the best parts of my life, I need to make sure that I include my husband in that, because why are we married if I don't consider him to be one of the greater parts of my life? So I make sure that I advertise him on my social media. My social media is a Michael Stan page. People recognize my husband when they first meet him because I post him so much. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because I feel like I have to, it's because I genuinely want to. And so for me, I know that how I used to feel, I would never want to put anybody in that predicament either. So I make sure it's advertised. I'm spoken for. I have a husband. I am happy. I want y'all to see that I'm happy. Here he is. So, I make sure I advertise my husband. But as far as me seeing other couples and wanting that for myself, not so much. If anything, I use social media for ideas. I see what they've done. Let me see how I can kind of sort of take the same trip. That seems like something fun, but it's not necessarily an experience that we have to have simply because we saw somebody else with it. So for me, that's kind of where it is. Previously, in my younger years, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it held weight. I needed to have that picture life. Now I use it more so to just keep up with myself, track how my kids are growing over time, see how my body is changing over time, see how my interests are changing over time, and more importantly, advertise the fact that I have a man and we are happy, very happy.
But I think the good thing that you said is you have a partner that allows you to do that, though. You have a partner that inspires you to want to do that. I think that sometimes social media is too much cap in it. Like you have to, like a lot of people will get in relationships just for their Instagram. Some people are in relationships for their Instagram. Some people are getting married for the wedding for their Instagram.
Absolutely.
Like
it's people right now that's not getting married because of COVID. They can't have a wedding. Y'all gonna fail.
Yeah. And I think that when I hear people who are in relationships who want to be in their relationships, what I hear is how they have the choice to do whatever they do on social media. Like I post them because I want to post them. Not because I have to, because I want to post them, because I'm spoken for, I'm happy. I don't want to give off the viewpoint like I'm single and I'm ready to mingle. So I think that's really cool. What you got for us, Ahmed? There you go.
People want to call me while I'm on the doggone podcast. What I have for social media and I guess rules and guidelines or how it affects your relationship is like I'm a aspiring stand-up comedian, so I have to have it. So for me, a lot of times it'll be comedy, it'll be what my daughter has going on, what my wife has going on. My wife, thankfully enough, she's comfortable from the last conversation we've had. She's comfortable with the content that I post and posting her, and it's not necessarily have to be I need you to post me so these hoes will know. It's not that, because I don't ever cross that line. So for me, it shouldn't really have any bearing on your relationship. Of course, because I'm married, I want people to know that she is a highlight of my life, just piggybacking off of what Amber said. But it's not one of those things to where you absolutely have to post me, you have to tag me in XYZ from either standpoint of either side of my relationship. So I really feel like do what you feel. That should be how your social media works. Do what you feel. And if you feel like posting me, great. But I know that social media is just a filter or a highlight reel of what you got going on. So I don't necessarily have to be in every highlight. So
look, I just want to let y'all know that y'all sound like two healed individuals, because I'm gonna just let y'all know it ain't like this for us single folk out here. I literally, me and Ian was talking about this in a pre-production call before you got on there, but I literally just got out of a situation where the young lady said she did not like I have a very dark sense of humor. If you know me, I got a dark sense of humor. And I find some things funny that most people are gonna be like, hey, that's not funny. So she didn't really care for my brand of what I find funny. And not like stuff I was actually posting of myself, but just stuff I might post on my story. Like I might, take a TikTok and drop it on my story or whatever. And I was just like, oh, okay. And she told me, like, you can't post that stuff because it reflects negatively on me. And I was just like, ma'am, one, people don't even know I date you. Because we literally, I believe in this. You single until you married. Sorry, that's me over here. I believe you are single until you are married. And I believe that from a standpoint of, if I'm courting you and in the process of courting you, I'm not posting you all over my social media, because you're on my social media, but I'm not posting you all over my social media because you're not mine. Like, you're really not mine. You have the choice whenever you want to decide not to be with me anymore. Just like you can when you're married, but I think marriage shouldn't be that finicky, even though nowadays I feel like we're trained to get divorced because of how we kind of see things moving in society. But I think that it's great that when I hear what y'all are saying, because y'all are talking about the one biggest thing that I think most people struggle with is that it's a choice on how you deal with certain things. It's a choice on how you conduct yourself and how you represent your partner. Because y'all are talking about partnership with y'all partners. Y'all not talking about like it's a dictatorship, or, like Amber, you're not saying he has to post me and I have to post him. And Ian, you're not saying that at all. Y'all are saying I choose to post them because they're in my life and I use social media as a highlight reel. And even with you as somebody, Ian, who uses social media for your business sake, even as somebody who's on the outside looking in, I can tell when you had a comedy show. I can tell when you and your wife and your daughter on a road trip. I can tell when your daughter doing something crazy and then you post it. And I think like that's really cool, because you're really trying to show everybody like, hey, look, this is the multifaceted part of my life that I have going on, but this ain't everything. Because Ian's also the same person that will go 3-4 days without posting anything on Instagram. But I know on Tabletop Tuesday, he posting for his event that he hosts. And I think that that's one of the things that I find very, I like to see that as somebody who is a little bit of a pessimist. I love love and all that other good stuff. It sounds great, but I'm a pessimist because, I always feel like, because in my past life, I used to be a dirtbag at some point in time in my life. And then, I got my life together, once I got a little bit older and and I started to change a little bit. But I like how y'all are healed individuals and all. So as two healed people, I want y'all to give me 5 social media rules for a healthy relationship. Give me five of your social media rules for your relationship. What you got, Ams?
Well,
Ams,
one of them, my husband doesn't necessarily have to post me on his social media. However, I do believe that depending on the way that you're using social media, there are certain things that you should divulge about yourself. You shouldn't be portrayed as available. And I just feel like that personally from experience. People will gaze down your social media to try to get an idea of you. And if you're presenting yourself as a single person, meaning that you don't have any pictures of a spouse, you don't have any picture of yourself wearing, some people don't wear wedding rings, you know what I'm saying? So you don't have a picture of your spouse, you don't have any mention basically saying that you're unavailable. For me, that's a red flag, because why you on the fence about taking a stand that, hey, I am not available? Business inquiries only. I'm just here to get my thoughts off, post pretty pictures, whatever. So that for me, that's a big thing. You have to make that known. And not necessarily if you dating, because you're right, you are single until you're married. There are people who openly date up until the time they decide to get engaged, because you got to keep your options open. So that's just
rule
one of
number
them.
one. So rule number one, you should divulge your relationship status.
Absolutely.
Boom.
And it don't have to be outward, but it's got to be there somehow. Absolutely.
Give me rule number 2. What you got? Rule. Wait, say. Ian. You give us your rule number 1 right quick, Ian.
Rule number 1 is consider your spouse, because in the content that you post, if you don't consider your spouse, it'll come back to bite you in your butt later. Like, for real. Like, seriously. So like sometimes on my social media, I may not necessarily post the full brunt of my joke because of the simple fact that I'm considering my spouse. And if that joke may be offensive to my spouse, then I want to make sure that I don't have any problems or turbulence at home. I can turn the phone off. I can't turn my spouse off. So that's rule number 1. Always consider your spouse.
All right, Els, give me rule number 2.
Do not provide any of your personal information to strangers on the internet without your spouse's knowledge or permission. No addresses, contact info, because at the end of the day, for one, especially not an address, your spouse lived there, you feel me? But contact information, because people are really crazy out here in the world, and if you're not divulging this to your spouse in advance, there's a reasoning for it. And anything that starts off in deceit will end that way as well. So you might as well be completely honest with it up front. Hey, I met this person online. They seem pretty cool. Figure we might be able to be friends, even if it is somebody of opposite sex, because you should know your relationship well enough to know if that's okay or not anyway. So, don't be sneaky when it comes to giving out personal information. Let them know, hey, I met somebody online. I think they're pretty cool. I was thinking about maybe giving them my number so they could hit me up whenever, and then have those conversations. Don't be sneaky about it.
So don't provide information to strangers on the internet or contact information. Can I go ahead and say number 3? Number 3, be transparent with all new social media friendships.
Absolutely, because at our big age, you making new friends. Why is this not common knowledge?
Man, we over here working on this is gonna be a little, I'm gonna have to drop this as a blog too, because y'all hitting us with some stuff. All right, Ian, give me number 2.
Number 2, your social media should never be 100% of your situationship. Because you have people that stalk your page and will look for chinks in your armor and look for that creak in the door to where okay, let me just go ahead and slide in here.
She wants your hair, Samson. Okay.
It should never be 100% of your situationship, because of the simple fact that if you and your partner are in a partnership, it goes back to number 1, considering them and making sure that we're on the same page, and then it doesn't give the general population or the general public that information that you and your spouse are going through. So that's never should be 100% of your situationship. Rule number 2.
Rule number 2, I'm feeling it. So Amber, you on rule number 3, but I guess we're gonna go 6 because I randomly threw in an extra one for you. So give me number 4.
Okay. Dang, I didn't know there were so many rules to social media.
Well, we just helping the
respect yourself. Respect yourself. You have to, it's not even so much as respecting your partner, but you have to also understand that you represent, as a matter of fact, I learned this from you. You are a representation of the person that you are with. So if you're not with your partner and people are seeing the things that you post on social media, dang, what's going on with her? Why is he with her? Like, oh my God, this is unfair. If you out here always being thirsty, always looking like you begging for attention, don't you have a man at home, sis? Like, get it together. Or even with the men, you up, it's embarrassing, the internet porn. You all up on underneath the comments and stuff. You don't even know who this is posting it, but you in the comments. You're embarrassing your partner. Like, respect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you're making your partner look bad.
Kings, this is why y'all need to be healed out here in these streets, because the last thing your old lady want to do is be on Twitter, and she see somebody getting piped down on Twitter, and then she look and she see comment number 1, see your thirsty behind talk about something. Damn, Mo, she got a fatty. Ooh, she taking that pipe. Like, you can't lay that down. I don't care what you say. You cannot live that down. All right.
That is a sick Negro.
And it'll come back to bite you. It'll come back to bite you. It be somebody like your significant other's third cousin twice removed that'll send a text message saying, "Hey, is this your dude? He all up under the comments. What y'all got going on?"
They won't even say nothing. They'll just like the comment, so they let you know that they seen it.
like
and screenshot.
Yeah. Or let it be your lady's best group chat. One of the females in the group chat. Check the group chat, girl.
Ladies, I hate y'all group chats because y'all, man, look, I'm the most heel toxic person in the world, and I'm gonna just say this. Many a times I have found something that I might have posted inside of a female's group chat, and God dang it, man! Like, just let me get myself together. God dang. Ian, give us rule number 3.
Rule number 3: always big up or hype up your partner, because of the simple fact that with this being a highlight reel. As Amber was saying, it should never look like you're single, especially if you're in a relationship. And if you hype up your partner, you big up your partner, you post your partner, it won't be any of the what ifs and who's this and all that other stuff. So always big up and hype up your partner.
You know what? I like that rule. I like that rule right there, Ian, because that's about how, like, because some people big up their partners differently, right? Some dudes are gonna post their old lady as their woman crush. Some dudes are gonna make sure that they just give acknowledgement to the woman that they're with. Like, mostly if you like married and you this is what I feel. I feel like a man is not a man without a woman. So I feel like when you find somebody who's truly your partner and you get married, like I feel like this. My kids took my hustle and my grind to another level. When you're married, that also kicks your hustle and a grind to another level, because if you're a man, there's one P that we all know we have to do. We have to provide. We have to provide for our families. So when you have a good woman, you know, you're going to want to provide for her, and not just financially, but you also want to provide the emotional support and the mental support. And you got to do that in a full round way. So I like that rule. I like that rule because, like, when I post this, when you post this on Spotify, when we post this on Apple, we're gonna make sure we list out these different rules that y'all kind of giving, because I think these are all very beneficial to people. Amber, give me your rule number 5.
Rule number 5 is respect the family. You and your spouse can be cool, but you made a choice to accept their family as well. So therefore, you have to respect them on social media. It's
Oh
one
my
thing to put
God.
your relationship woes on the internet, but you know what I'm saying? That's still they people. They'll be very defensive about their people. If you're not fucking with your in-laws, or if you're not rocking with your boyfriend's people or your girlfriend's people, and you putting that on social media, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? And then let the wrong person see it and it blow up. And now it's the think piece. It's stuck out there. And then that's a deeper conversation that you and your spouse have to have, that y'all could have had in private, but now you have to have it on a public forum, where had you been a little bit more respectful, possibly had that conversation with them directly instead of venting online, it could have been avoided.
Man, look, I'm gonna tell y'all, don't vent online, because everybody just there for the show. Like, like, look, I know sometimes we'll feel like, oh, I'm just writing it to get it out. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Invest in a burner page if
Yeah,
you got to use the
yeah,
internet as your diary.
yeah. George did that, so hopefully you didn't have to go through that, because I did that and that was dumb. It was stupid. So now what I do is, and I tell people this in a second, if somebody ever got a hold of one of these cell phones or one of my iPads, they go through my notes page. Lord have mercy.
You took the words right out of my mouth, dog.
Cause I got some stuff in my notes page. Look, I love my kids' mom. I love all my kids' moms. However, if any of them got a hold of my phone and my notes page and they go back to the date, all right, so I'm gonna be transparent. They go back to the date that I got the letter in the mail from the Department of Revenue about what my child support gonna be, and they saw what I wrote that day, I might go to jail. Like, you know, they might say I was conspiring to commit murder, but
But you better be singing my praises.
all praises to Allah. But you know, like, but like, you know, like, it's one of those things. Like, you gotta find a healthier way to do it, because I'm gonna tell you this: everybody's here for the entertainment. Check this out. Story time. I gotta stop what I'm doing. I gotta go to story time. People are really watching your social media for the telenovela. They want the telenovela. Okay, so just be totally transparent. Me and Amber, we were together, then we were together, we had a child, we broke up, but then we got back together. Now, in that time that we were broken up, I was in a whole internet relationship with somebody. All right, so y'all about to judge the hell out of me, and it's cool. And if she listened to this, you know, I got some choice words for her. But anyways, so I was in an internet relationship with a young lady who was living in Houston, Texas. And I was living in Columbus, Ohio. One thing led to another on social media, and let's just say I got the cheeks. The young lady came up to get for an interaction. She came up originally for an interaction. Upon coming up for an interaction, it went well. On the day she was leaving, she said, "I'll be back on Friday." Now, this is my dumb ass. And I'm dumb, I'm stupid at this point. I say, "Okay, cool, I see you on Friday." Now, this is one thing I learned, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, fellas. Don't deal with no woman that's like so hell bent on being with you. Like if she feeling you more than you feeling her, don't do it because you set yourself up for failure. Because I was caught up in a situation that I don't wish on nobody. And I thank Amber for her patience during that moment because this young lady got hired at the same place that I worked at. This young lady would pull up next to my then pregnant girlfriend's car to berate her with my children in the car. This young lady would go to my then girlfriend's job to berate her, knowing she didn't want to wear whooped ass. Pregnant at all, Amber out here wanting to fight this girl over me fucking with a bitch, excuse my language, at the time, she was a bitch, that I shouldn't have been fucking with. And it was all on me, y'all. It wasn't nothing Amber was doing. It was, I was messing with this girl. I seen what it was. I should have left it alone. But no, I didn't. As Amber used to tell me, you sitting there thinking fat meat ain't greasy. Now, fellas, I understand this. You don't want your old lady sitting there telling you, I told you so every damn day. But guess what? Amber is that simple ass person that's going to tell you, I told you so.
And I told you so.
So crazy enough. So me and Amber, we in Columbus, we moved to Cleveland, Ohio. This young lady started dating a member of a fraternity that Amber is affiliated with, and thought that we were going to be at that fraternity's boat ride. So she came all the way to Cleveland, hoping to catch us at this fraternity's boat ride. We did not go to it, just for the record. But but this young lady stalked Amber's social media. Like me and Amber done broke up. She's still stalking her social media, sending me screenshots of Amber's social media after we broke up. And this is the pitfalls of social media, fellas. And I'm gonna tell y'all, this is the pitfall of social media. If you are not in a healed place before you get into that relationship, social media is gonna be another tool for you to cheat. And not physically cheat, but you might be cheating mentally, you might be cheating spiritually, and you gotta understand the ramifications of what you're gonna do to that other person because of what you're doing. And when I tell you, like the situation was crazy, like Amber would be telling me what this girl does sit and all this other stuff. And now I ain't gonna tell you like now Amber, she don't fight fair. So Amber's so petty.
I play the win.
She took the girl's diploma from her master's program. I think it was her master's program.
Long story short, y'all, I paid the crackhead $5 to eat it. I paid that man $5 to stand there, take that degree out the plastic, and eat it in my face. And the reason being is because I threw it away. And him being a good Samaritan brought it to our door because she had put our address on the envelope. I said, sir, I don't want that, but I will give you $5 right now to watch you eat it. And to this day, 8 years later, it is still the best $5 I've ever spent.
And to this day, it's up. It's still up.
I caught a thin line between love and hate, boy.
You know what though? It was. This is the thing though. Me dumping her, kicking her out, all of that. She didn't have no ill will towards me. She was coming at Amber the whole time.
Bruh.
Like so. But the thing was, like, I created this hostile environment though. Mm-hmm. And that's what I had to learn. Like, you got to be really careful with what you do on social media. But I'm sorry to cut you off, Ian. Ian, you had two more right quick. You had 4 and 5 for us right quick. Ian over there parenting. Hey, Ian, give me 4 and 5 right quick.
You said 4 and 5?
Yeah, give me your 4 and 5. Your daughter done made the podcast. It's cool. Guest
Yeah.
feature. Her first guest feature.
Hey man, 2 years old, already trying to make features, man. Keep it cordial. Any suspect activities should be discussed. So that's 4 and 5. So keep it cordial. Social media, if you're in the business where you have to have social media as far as to conduct your business and promote yourself, keep it cordial, because of the simple fact that it could get ugly real fast, especially if somebody takes your cordiality for something other than that. I think I just made up.
That's cool. You know, we can do that. We could do that. It's, you know, it's kind of like, you know, it is what it is. But so now this is the thing I want to ask, because you're actually, you know, I've actually seen, you know, some people sent me stuff when you was doing your stand-up and stuff like that. Is that something that you have to deal with? You know, doing what you do, like, you know, because you know, I don't think you're trying to get into being a stand-up comedian, because I've actually seen that you're actually are a stand-up comedian, so you've actually already done it. So like, how is that, like, dealing with that? Like, how is that like a hard thing, or is it like you just really have to have very serious boundaries with people?
So I haven't gotten to that plateau yet to where I've had to set hard boundaries. But like when I'm doing stand-up or I'm out doing a show, you won't ever see no massive amount of females around me. You won't see that. You always see around other stand-ups or other people that's on the show just kicking it. And if females around them, I'm avoiding the very appearance of evil. Because, hey, like I said, we referring back, I don't want no turbulence at home. So if I'm sitting at a bar or whatever, and a female walks up, guess what? I'm moving the bar stool over. Because you're not gonna be able to say, oh, look at what Ian was doing, girl. Check your group chat. You're not gonna be able to do that. Not with me, at least. So for me, I haven't had to set those hard boundary lines, but I try to maneuver to where it's all on the up and up. So it's none of that.
Man, so Amber, if you were talking to a young man like who was a friend of yours, and he's like, "Hey, I'm in this relationship, and you know, and you see he be wilding on social media. What's some advice that you would give him?"
First things first, I tell them respect yourself. Because I mean, so for example, I'm cool with a lot of Qs, with a lot of bras. So for example, when I see them doing that excessive flirting, or, you know what I'm saying, living up to the stereotype, I have to remind them, if your girlfriend was reading that, is she gonna whip your ass or not? Because 9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be, oh, damn, I'm gonna get my ass whooped. So why are you living dangerously? Act like you know. Or, you know, just stuff like that. Or even if you saw your girl posting this, being thirsty over somebody, would you believe her if she told you, oh, it's just a joke? Oh, it's just for the timeline. Why are you putting on for people you don't know? That ties back into respect yourself. Like, you look lame right now. So that's basically what I would tell them. That's what I do tell them. Like, you look lame. Relax.
So you that good sister. You that good sister that be looking out. Like, that's I definitely feel that, because one of my LBs, every time we go on a trip somewhere, I be like, look, bro, I ain't explaining nothing to your wife. So I'm cop block king. I'm a tumbo. I lead the league in blocks.
But you know me, because one thing about it, I'm not going to offer up your secrets.
Yeah.
But I ain't lying for nobody either. So don't be around me doing some shit you ain't got no business doing. And then, heaven forbid, I'm in a position that somebody gonna ask me a question. Oh, how was that trip to Miami? Such and such saying y'all had a good time. Oh, I bet she did have a good time. We had a great time.
Yo,
I'm one of them.
Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all this. Me and Amber are leaving Toys R Us with our goddamn kids. The alarm goes off. Her and the kids point to me.
Because I can't lie for nobody.
Kind of field nigga, house nigga shit is this?
Protect yourself. That's what I'm instilling in our children.
Now, mind you, I ain't steal nothing. But they
Then why the sensor go off? Then why the sensor go off?
But they so quick to rat on me. Now we all know at that point in time the only thief in the household was Amber. But I don't want to get into that. That's for another story. All right. Ian, all right. Your sister come talk to you.
Lawyer
man.
said I'm done with this interview.
Ian, your sister come talk to you, and she talking to you about her boo, her bae, her everything. How you gonna talk to her about how to manage her relationship via social media?
Hey man, like keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. And like I think I'm gonna get this quote messed up, but believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. Because that he say, she say can get real messy. And then let's say you walk up on an old boy and you see a female that you ain't never saw before. You don't want to necessarily believe after an extenuated hug or an extended hug that this is somebody he's messing with while he's messing with you at the same time. So ask the question, never assume. Because if we break the word assume down, it's gonna make an ass out of you and me. And both of us gonna be upset. And the one thing that I don't have to tell my sister is always keep a joke in your hand. Always never reveal your whole hand. And women, and Amber, you can probably attest to this. Women have a petty level of 1 million. So if you cheat with a regular female from round the way, she is going to cheat back on you 10 times worse. They always going to want to up you, so I don't have to tell her that. But that's what I would say. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see, and keep your eyes open.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this podcast before Amber say anything else. Hey, with this being said, it's been a great episode of GH2 Party Fight.
Because I would like to know, like, you know what I'm saying? So what you say about the believe none of what you hear, half of what you see, and what else?
And keep your eyes open.
Keep your eyes open. Okay, so I'm throwing George under the bus. You feel me?
It's cool.
Dang.
It's cool. We do that over here. We do this on this podcast.
Everyone, and I used to be the same way. Matter of fact, to an extent, I am still the same way. You got to bring me some type of evidence. Don't tell me nothing if you can't provide a receipt. So when I first started dating George, the few people that knew I was associating with him, oh, don't do it. 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 Had I listened to the rumors, we wouldn't have the beautiful children that we have today.
Mm-hmm.
None of those people were lying. Then the few things that I did see, you're right, I probably should have questioned it. But the few things I did question, he looked me dead in my face and lied to me. So I feel like sometimes
it wasn't me.
Who you gonna believe? You or your lying ass eyes. So, sometimes that can work. But if you're gonna give that type of level of trust, you really got to know who you dealing with. Believe none of what you hear, because sometimes you can be with somebody who is a good person, but they're well known. So naturally people will lie because they see y'all being happy on social media or whatever. They want what you have. They will concoct stories to get in between that.
Yeah.
So that can be a situation, but 9 times out of 10, they need to listen to them people.
Yeah. Well, now look, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I'm not going to say that anything she said was untrue, because I remember it got to the point where everyone would just be like I could tell when she would hear stuff, she'd be like, I know this sorry ass nigga, this nigga again, nigga, again. And look, I remember I first went to therapy and I was telling my therapist about all of the situations. And he was just like, man, you just took this young lady through it, didn't you? I said, yeah. And he was just like, man. And it's just like one of those things, like, if you're like what Ian is saying, I think it only works if you know you're dealing with a healed person. If you dealing with a nigga who's still being a nigga,
you need to take them folk advice.
Hey.
They trying to help.
If you know they got your best interest at heart, if you know they got your best interest at heart, then yeah. But if they ain't got your best interest at heart, baby, you know,
You got to use discernment.
yeah, you got to use that. Go with that gut feeling. Because every time Amber thought I was doing something funny, she was right. I was doing something funny. And it got so bad that this is when I knew it was bad, when I wasn't doing anything anymore, but I had to be super mindful of what I did because of everything I had did in the past. And I think that's what, as a man, that's what you got to understand, that, you know, what we do and how it affects, you know, because this is going to now affect her in her next couple of relationships because of how she had to deal with me and all of the stuff I took her through. So I think that you really, as a man, you really got to be mindful of that. And I think that's hard sometimes because we don't be thinking about the next nigga. Like, we thinking about us because we trying to, because, you know, because we like Future. Like, you know, and there's a part of my life I was very toxic on some Future shit. Like, I know I can get my bag. Whoa. And I will tell y'all this: she left and she never came back. She ain't looked back at all. And we've been cool ever since. We've been friends ever since. She married. I like her. I like her husband. You know, we ain't.
We are a blended family, just like the white people.
Yeah, right? we are, and we are like we are one of those families. We family. You know, so fellas, y'all run up on him, I'm gonna beat y'all ass too. Like, you know, it is what it is. You're gonna get jumped. So, you know. And you know, if you ever do something crazy, you know, to my kid's mom, like, that's my family, so now I got to beat them up. So, you know, because of that, we all got to understand that life is good. So you can work it out, but at the same time, fellas, I'm gonna just tell y'all, like, get healed. I love Alex. She's usually on the pod with me. Like, she say, heal kings. Men, really take your ass to therapy, bro. Take your ass to therapy. You need a therapist. You need a Black therapist. Holla at me. I share my therapist. I share my therapist because he's changed my whole damn life. He's changed my life over the last 2 years. He's changed how I deal with my kids. He's changed how I deal with the people that are around me. Everybody who is around me, like, they see the change because, like, you know, I'm not thirsty for attention. I'm not thirsty for anything. I'm just trying to be me, just stay low key. I kick it with my kids. You know, Amber and her husband want to go on a trip. They know they could drop them kids off in a second. I'm be like, where y'all going? Do y'all need a ride to the airport? And that's just what it is now, because, you know, that's what it is now. Like, you know, like, for me, it's about, I'm healed now. I feel good. I'm the best representation of myself now, and I can move forward. So I always try to tell men, go to therapy, get your healing. If your healing is, I'm gonna go to church and talk to my pastor, that's cool, but I'm gonna still tell your ass to go get healed, because them childhood traumas will keep fucking you up. Because my childhood traumas fucked me up all throughout my relationship. I watched my daddy drop me off after, on his way to go pick up a prostitute. So, you know, like, so for me, my shit was skewed a little bit. And, you know, so about what a happy relationship really was, and, you know, I low key beat my mama ass, you know, and they fighting and stuff. And I never, God, thank you, God, I never put my hands on a woman in any type of way like that. But you really have to take your time in life to really work through this stuff. And sometimes you do, as a man, got to get to a point and say, I'm not ready for a relationship. Because relationships, if done correctly, relationships can really make you whole, or they can really take away from you. And if you're not a whole ass person, you're going to just take away from yourself, and probably take away from that person, and lead them with debilitating insecurities.
Hey, man, I just want to interject real quick. Any of the listeners that are listening and know who I am, just trust my sister is a savage, for real.
Lord have mercy. So with that being said, I'm going to take this time.
The females are savages.
With that being said, I want to take this time. I want to give each y'all opportunity. Let us know your social media, where we can find you at. Let us know about the different events you got going on, where we can find you at for those events, and booking information. You know, Ian, you can go ahead and let us know what you got going on.
So you can catch me on Facebook at well, all my social medias are tied together. So you can find me on IG at immack88, IMACK88. If this comedy stuff don't work out, you'll find me on OnlyFans at where the motto is, I'm not fat, I'm fluff, and you fuck around with me, you get stuff. I'm on TikTok. Everything is iMac88. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, the whole nine. So yeah. imcclenton at yahoo.com is the booking information.
Oh, wait a second. Where we gonna find you at on Tuesdays? Where we gonna find you at Tuesday? What's the
Oh.
location for Tuesdays? Come on now.
Thanks for the alley-oop. I'm finna slam dunk it. Each and every Tuesday night, Tabletop Tuesdays at the Medusa Lounge, 9551 Bay Meadows Road. Again, that's 9551 Bay Meadows Road. If you ain't there,
that's Jacksonville, Florida. Because we know we got people in Germany and Puerto Rico that be listening to this podcast. So just in case they don't know.
Duval County, Jacksonville, Florida, 32257. If you ain't there, you ain't nowhere. Pull up on me.
Pull up on me. All right, Miss Amber Q Chains, where we can find you at?
So Instagram is Q Chains. The Twitter is not Q Chains. Me and my sister, we offer document prep for the Jacksonville, Orlando, and Tampa area. So if you have child support documents that need to be filed, time sharing documents, if you like to file for a divorce, you do not need an attorney to file those documents for you. You can have a knowledgeable document preparer like myself or my sister file those documents for you and prepare them. All you have to do is show up to court and represent yourself. We also offer traveling notary services. So we will come to you. We do marriages, marriage ceremonies. We're licensed to marry y'all. We can do a real quick 5-minute ceremony if y'all in a rush. But you can hit us up on Instagram. We're really responsive. We respond back at the end of business being 5 p.m.
In what all counties do you service?
The entire state. We can do document preparation for the
entire
state of Florida.
Okay, cool.
Florida. Yeah, we're working on Florida right now. No, we are working in Florida right now. We're trying to branch out to other states, but as of right now, we can file for anywhere in the state. When it comes to the mobile notary services, we service the Jacksonville area, the Orlando area, and the Tampa area. And pretty soon we'll be branching out down to South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami as well.
Boom. So with that being said, I just want to thank both of y'all for all of your insights on social media and these relationships that we in and different things like that. Thank y'all for y'all 5 tips. So if you go and you catch us on the Apple, if you're listening to this on Apple, look a little bit further down, you'll see all five key things that they gave. You'll also see, I'll have all of their social media information, also their email information, if you need to contact them. Of course, you can find me at Dr. GasCanMan on all social media. I'm the only goddamn Dr. GasCanMan on all social media platforms. Damn, that feels good. And if you need me, you can email me, george.hardy@gmail.com. With that being said, it's been a wonderful episode. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all.